Start. What is test case? Actual practicals will come from now onwards. Test case design. So maybe tomorrow we are going to write the test cases. Today, so we'll just see that what is the test case means and how we will write the test cases. And then tomorrow I'll take one scenario and I'll write the test cases so that you can practice more. Okay. So what is a test case? Are we recording? No. So what is a test case? What is a requirement? A requirement is basically what application has to perform and what application should contain. That will be there in the requirement. In the test case, okay, from that requirement or using that requirement, how many ways you can test the application. That is a test case means. So you can write a test cases based on the requirements. The base for you is the requirements. So in the Agile environment, we call them requirements. We call them, what is the name we will call in the Agile process?
User stories.
Excellent. User stories. User story is a small description of a requirement, right? Functionality of the application. So that's a user story. So that user stories are base for writing the test cases. Then what is a test case? A test case is you will give an input and perform the action or a series of actions. Then you will get an output. Then you will compare that expected output and application behavior to check the application feature is working properly or not. That is what you will do in the test case. So who will give expected response? Requirements document inside you have. Then who will get, where you will get an actual response? From the application. So that is called a test case. So you basically test case checks the functionality is working or not by giving an input, doing some actions or a series of actions, then output will generate by the application. That output is correct or wrong, you will check. So in the test case format. So a test case also you can say another definition, what to be tested, what you are going to test, what data to be given. So which data you need to provide, what actions to be done to check the actual result against expected result. That is the test case means. And so what are the items will be there in the test case template? So test case number, test case ID. This is the first test case ID. Then you have a requirement number. The mapping will be there. And test case name, test data, what data you are giving, you can write the test data also for each test case. And precondition, this is the very important steps. Description are steps. Expected result, actual result, status, remarks, defect ID. So this is the entire test case template. So company to company it will vary. As I mentioned, a test strategy, the formats will be there, but mainly this will be there. These are mandatory. Expected or actual status. Mandatory and the defect ID also will map. As I mentioned in the initial classes, every failed test case should have a defect. right?
Yes.
So that you will map in the test case document. Why do you map? Why do you need to map? For a tracking purpose. Okay, which test case passed in iteration 1 and iteration 2, which test case is failed again. How can you track? By mentioning all the data, right? Your output, the status, defect ID, if you mention, you can track easily. Okay, whatever the test case you are writing, are they reusable? Yes, you can reuse always. Write once and reuse the test cases, manual test cases. And so where you will reuse? You to test the functionality of the application, maybe in non-functional testing, to understand the non-functional testing requirements also, you need to understand the requirements. And you can perform different type of testings using these test cases: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, regression testing, and all these kinds of testings you can perform. So that's so how you can reuse them. Next, we have some characteristics are there for any test case. Test case should, how can you say it's a good test case? A valid test case, how can you say that? Test case should start with what you are testing, and test case should be independent, and test case should catch the bugs. So test case should be uniform. Main point is this one. Test case should catch the bugs. If there is a bug in that area, while executing, you should catch that bug. If your test case is not catching, then means you haven't written proper test case. Or you can modify, continuously you can modify your test cases. Not necessary first time itself you have to write exactly. It's okay, we'll miss some of them. And while reviewing time also, they also miss it to give the points. And you now in your test flow, you encountered a new scenario, you include that. So that's it, always updating the test cases is very important. And this test case should be uniform, it should not be a duplicate. And all test case should be traceable. So traceable means, okay, this test case coming from which requirement? The traceability must be there. Requirements to test case should be mapped. The traceability matrix you have to prepare. Okay, particular user story got 10 test cases. Particular user story got 15 test cases. Another user story got 5 test cases. So like that you should map so that you can easily understand, okay, which test case failed and that belongs to which user story. Always there should be traceable, backward and forward traceability must be important. So no duplicate test cases, no duplicate test case at all. Outdated test case should be cleared off and removed from the document, test case document. All test case should be executable. If you're writing a test case, you should be able to execute that on the application when you follow step by step. So that is a test case you need to take care while writing the test cases. And these are the points. And this is the template generally. Test case ID. This is the high level template I have given, but test case name is missing here. A test case name, test data, precondition, descriptions, expected result, actual result, status, remarks. All this will be there. See, descriptions you have to write what to be tested, what data to be provided, what action to be done. And so expect result as per requirement document. Actual result to system response. Okay, how system behaves. That system behavior you have to write in the actual result. If this one and this one same, and you may mark the status as a pass. If not same, you mark that as a fail. So that is the test cases. And so any application, you can apply this set of usability test cases. This is the common test cases across the applications. That is called UI test cases. So usability test cases, we call them. What are the usability test cases? So I'll discuss them tomorrow. And today I'm just closing here. So please go through that and write a few more test cases. I want to give one more exercise. Write the test case for lift and for pin. These are the two test cases I'm expecting from you. Write and send it to me. The way you have written, same way you write for the lift. Please understand any object, let them give. Okay. First understand what is the purpose of that object. So now I have given lift. You know what is the purpose of lift, right? How it works, you know that. You think and write the test cases. So always make sure think positive and negative test cases, both, always. Okay, that's the way you have to think while writing the test cases. Pen, write the test case for pen. Is a very simple one, but there are test cases. Try writing test cases for that. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll discuss this usability test cases. And we'll write the test cases also tomorrow.